What's going on, besties? It is Monday, May 18th, and you know it is time for news for people that have a job. I'm Jamie Delphine, broadcasting live from Los Angeles, and the world has had an entire weekend to fall apart further as I have been taking notes. How's everybody doing today? What's up, Ice God first in chat? Crazy Dad, thank you so much for being here. Holy cannoli. Y'all have actually filled the cosplay challenge. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to get that rolled out. Now that we have officially filled that challenge, I'm gonna put some votes on the Discord. I'm gonna allow y'all to just name a bunch of different cosplays that you think would be cool to see me in. Then I'm gonna switch it to some polls. The winning poll, I'm going to do a really legitimate, thorough cosplay and do a photo shoot. So, congratulations to the besties. You've unlocked the cosplay photo shoot challenge. 100,000 social credit community challenge. Amazing. Now, what's up, Crazy Dad? Yes, before we get into it, we can't go any further. Before we really get into it, congratulations on the community challenge again, by the way. But before we get into it, first, I have to appease the note. I need to figure out my sound, y'all. Like I keep hitting the ceiling. This isn't work. My noise gate is wrong. I keep saving the set. My sound probably sounds terrible. I keep saving the graphic that tells me how to fix my sound and then not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm just a girl. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, I'm gonna try. Let me know if it sounds really bad. I can turn my gain down. I think I'm just like blowing out my actual ceiling. So, oh, the dog in the house is going off. Of course, mail time. Bro, shut up. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, there. Now that I am better off here, how's everybody feeling? Hi, Scott, how you doing? And Crazy Dad, we got some crazy stories today. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and do the node appeasement. Praise be the node. May our bit rates remain stable. Our frame drops remain non-existent. And our engagement metrics satisfy the cold, unfeeling data centers that dictate our digital reach. Praise be the node. Alright, so let's get into it. Smash the like button, share the stream to all your besties, and let them know that we are ready to work. Alright, so, chat, this one's fucking crazy. I'm gonna have to mute. I'm gonna have to censor myself in the clip, but I'm sorry. This one's fucking crazy. We have a billionaire taking a historic L in court. Nvidia breaking up with gamers and not even leaving a note. A gaming studio that learned the hard way you don't mess with community. The federal government adding believing in trans people should exist to their counterterrorism watch list, and the city of Los Angeles continuing its audition for a prestige HBO disaster series. It is an absolutely stacked Monday. Let's get into it. So we're starting with dessert today, besties, because this one is actually delicious. This morning, as of this morning, a federal jury in Oakland, California, threw out Elon Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI and CEO Sam Altman, the possibly living AI entity sent from the future. And unanimously, they threw out this entire lawsuit in under 2 hours. The jury decided that Elon, a man worth roughly $160 billion, an owner of a social media platform that he arguably wrecked, a rocket company, and formerly the world's most expensive sense of grievance, he waited too long to file his lawsuit. Statute of limitations. Case dismissed. Everybody go home. 2 hours! Y'all, that's faster than some DoorDash hours. It's faster than some DoorDash orders, like, honestly. It's faster than it takes Elon to destroy a company he just acquired, for sure. Like, the jury deliberated, they hit the vending machine, then they came back and they're like, yeah, we're not listening to this crap. So, here's the background. If you're not familiar, so Elon actually co-founded OpenAI. If you're not familiar, in 2015, he gave them $38 million. And that was in its early years. Then he left the board. When OpenAI started making money and actually transitioned to like a for-profit structure, then he sued. He claimed that they stole a charity and that Sam Altman had unlawfully enriched himself. I mean, unethically, yeah. But unlawfully, unfortunately, no. The judge, Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers, looked at the advisory verdict and said, and I quote, "The court now confirms it would accept the jury's findings as its own." So somebody worth this much money that can afford lawyers as expensive as his missed the statute of limitations. Just basic lawyer stuff. And honestly, the translation of that, the judge saying it that way, is just like hard agree. Now see yourself out. It, as my grandma would have said, don't let the door split you where the good Lord split you. Or wait, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. That's what she said. Musk's attorney has vowed he's going to appeal, which is very on brand. Because, you know, when Elon loses, he doesn't reflect. He just opens X and types. It's his strategy. It's his legal strategy. It's his business strategy. But what I love about this is that Elon Musk has been losing in courtrooms at a spectacular rate lately. Doge has been dismantled in federal court. His Tesla board compensation got thrown out. And now this. So at some point, the pattern is the point. And the smartest guy in the room energy only works when the room doesn't have a judge in it. I'm proud of that. Yeah. Screw you, Elon. The next one's since we're in the neighborhood of like tech bros, leaving their communities behind. Let's talk about nvidia. Let me hit this real quick. So, since we're in the neighborhood of tech bros leaving their communities behind, let's talk about nvidia. This is the first in 30 years. The first year in 30 years that NVIDIA has not released a consumer gaming GPU, which is a gaming processing unit. So I kind of said gaming redundantly. But they haven't released one. Not one. They have redirected their entire production pipeline toward AI data centers and like data center chips, because a single enterprise AI infrastructure contract is worth more than every RTX card they could sell to everyone in this chat or who sees this clip for the rest of their lives, no matter how many times this clip is shared. And the result, the RTX 5060 Ti. a mid-range card is now worth around $620 and climbing. The RTX 5090, the one we all wish we had sitting on our desk, that thing's worth like, it could be worth like $5,000 by the end of the year. And CEO Jensen Huang had the audacity to tell gamers who are upset by this that they are, and I quote, completely wrong. And what are they wrong about? DLSS 5, NVIDIA's new rendering software that uses generative AI to essentially hallucinate parts of your video game. The AI fills in the details that the game didn't actually render. It just like makes up what the game looks like. So essentially you bought a game and now you're going to watch an AI fan fiction of the game. Huzzah. So 52% of the industry professionals now say generative AI is bad for the industry. And that number was only 30% last year. And the developers know, the players know, the only people who don't know are the ones whose stock portfolios depend on not knowing. It's crazy. Has anybody seen the DLSS 5? Have you seen what it makes games look like? Does anybody actually want that? Let me know in the comments. Because I'm not sure I want that. I don't want that in my games. It's like, you know, fan fiction. It's like if somebody made made adult games into actual games. Those weird adult games you see the advertisements for on like Facebook and stuff. Because Facebook apparently has like the worst ad moderation. Stuff slips through there all the time. And because we can't let the gaming industry off the hook, today we're actually going to talk about something really close to home. The studio behind Party Animals, which we have played on stream. We've participated with the guild and events with that game. The studio Recreate Games announced last week that they were running a $75,000 AI video contest. And the community responded immediately. One way being they review bombed the game on Steam, which we do not condone here because that is against the Twitch terms of service. The studio has now apologized and is offering the community 3 options. 1, they offer to cancel the contest entirely. 2, they do offer to convert it to a human-made art competition. Or they will just keep the AI category but add a human art category alongside it. The fact they have to hold a community poll on whether or not humans are allowed to enter their art contest is one of the most 2026 sentences I have ever said out loud. We hoped AI could be a more accessible tool, the studio said in their apology. And look, I understand the pitch, but the gaming community has watched their industry lay off tens of thousands of developers while simultaneously telling them that AI is going to make games better while putting out the equivalent of putting a BBL on their favorite AAA title. They're just not buying it. They're not going to start buying it. And launching a $75,000 art contest in that environment is the digital equivalent of just putting a giant do not press button on a fire alarm. Someone is always going to push that big red button. Nobody's accepting AI, and they really need to stop trying to jam it down our throats. The gaming industry is pretty much firm. Okay, besties, we are going to turn a corner. This one's actually not funny. I've honestly been struggling with how to even cover this. Last week, the White House released the new United States counterterrorism strategy. And alongside cartels and Islamic terror organizations, the document explicitly states, and I'm reading directly from a federal document, that the administration will, quote, prioritize the rapid identification and neutralization of violent secular political groups whose ideology is anti American, radically pro transgender, and anarchist. They will use, quote, all the tools constitutionally available to map these groups, identify their membership, and cripple them operationally. Let's be very clear about what this is. This is the federal government of the United States officially labeling trans advocacy, the belief that trans people deserve to exist and be treated with dignity, as a national security threat. They're putting, I think trans kids should be able to go to school in the same policy document as we will cripple them operationally. The claim that trans people are inherently violent is statistically false. The Gun Violence Archive's own data shows that trans mass shooters account for less than 0.1% of mass shootings. Their own data. So, less than 0.1%. The data exists. They're choosing to ignore it because it has never been about public safety. This is about building legal infrastructure to surveil, prosecute, and chill the speech of anyone who organizes in defense of trans lives. The framework now exists in a federal document. That is not hyperbole any longer. That is now policy. That's heavy, and it's taking a bit to sit with it. How are we feeling? Everybody okay out there? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments. I'm here if you need to talk. So, just so we're clear, and I am moving on to the next story. Just so we're clear that this isn't abstract. The Trump administration has opened an investigation into Smith College, which is a women's college in Massachusetts, and they're investigating them for admitting transgender students. The allegations that it violates Title IX, which the federal law was originally written to protect women from sex discrimination in education. And they're using a law written to protect women from discrimination to discriminate against trans women. And Smith College has been admitting trans students since 2015, which is 11 years. This is not a new policy. The only thing that changed is who controls the Department of Education and what they want to do with it. This is the same playbook they've been running across every institution. They've taken the language of civil rights, they hollow it out, like the word woke, and point it at the people it was built to protect. The tool changes, the target is always the same. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments, and if you're already familiar with this concept. That's heavy. We got through the heavy stuff. It doesn't get any less important, but it's about to get a whole lot sillier. Let's bring it back to the city. So, besties, the mayor's race is not resting. Last week, candidates went to housing forums, so they caught my attention, and it was time. It was a time, we'll say, because Karen Bass is currently polling at 25%, and that sounds low until you remember that 40% of voters are completely undecided. She's running on real numbers. Homelessness in LA dropped 17.5% over her tenure, even as it rose 18% nationally. That is a thing she actually did. I'm not going to discredit that. But Nithya Raman and others are pushing hard on the accountability question. Where did the money go? Why is production still this slow? Why is there no transparent capital infrastructure plan? And those are fair questions because writing a check and calling it housing policy is exactly how we got here. And here's the thing that nobody is talking about enough. A major upzoning law kicks in on July 1st, less than 2 months away. That's my birth month, by the way. Happy birthday to me. That will allow apartment buildings to go up to 9 stories near rail stations and 5 stories near rapid bus stops, even in single family zone neighborhoods. And that is a seismic shift in how this city is allowed to be built. Believe me, I pay attention. And whether that change benefits the people who already live here or the investors who have been waiting for this exact moment is exactly the entire fight. And that's what the mayor's race is actually about. Not vibe, not crime stats. Who does this city get built for? The primary is in June. And don't forget, Ray Huang is still in the race and is the people's favorite. So, the primary is June. Show up, make your voices heard. That's who decides who this city gets built for. And cool. That's it. That's it for the news today, besties. Today was a fat chunk of news. A billionaire got cooked in under 2 hours. Gamers are being left behind by the same industry asking them to spend $5,000 on a graphics card. The federal government has decided that loving trans people is worth, a national security threat announcement. And Los Angeles is trying to figure out who it's actually being built for. And the answer to all of this is the same. Show up, organize, vote. And do not let any of these people make you feel like your voice doesn't matter. Because the only reason any of this is happening is because enough people are counting on enough regular people staying quiet. And we're not going to be quiet. I started a whole stream about this and I'm working on it. Allegedly might be helping put together a podcast. So I'm going to take a quick break and then I want to talk to you all about something a little more personal. I want to talk to you about RSD. It's something that I realized I have. It affects my behavior. And we're going to get into it when I get back. It's heavy, but I'm working through it. And this is where I work through things, is talking to y'all. So I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. And take care of yourself. Get some water, take a break, get a snack. We all deserve some self-care. Be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna just throw on some. Let's do some like some chill, something low key. How you doing today? Who who do we got still hanging with us after the ad break? Thank you so much for still being here. I really appreciate y'all just like the commitment to the support. Let me fire these off real quick. Weekly roundup of news so I can get my clips in. I'm gonna shoot that out to the world. I get to tell y'all about it. We get to chat about what's going on in the world and how crazy shit is. And then I get to clip it, and even more people get to see it. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for the support. Thanks for staying engaged. Which of the news stories did you find the craziest today? I mean, I know it was a lot. That was like 30 minutes. That was a legitimate news show. Like, I'm really starting to get, like, I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. And I really like making this content. So, I'm going to keep making this content. Um, I think as I have developed as a content creator and an organizer and learned more about myself, I'm starting to learn my own limitations. And a lot of that's a lot about what I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to probably be talking about it for a little while. Um, this is going to be a lot more personal, um, and hopefully a lot more conversation. Hopefully, because I'm starting to realize that the news isn't the most conversative, and we will see a high peak of viewers. But then, like as soon as I'm done, people don't really want to stay in chat. So I'm trying to start doing these just chattings like immediately after. It's it's my intention to get more conversive, conversational even. And I think that's the right move because I want to be making more content that's just more community building, community based, community engagement. That's the goal. And we're not. I was stalling. I was hoping you were going to say what your favorite news story was, but you didn't. So I'll just move past it. Um, I've been working on something on myself that I've known about for a while, and it's something that has been pointed out to me, and I've been aware of it, and I thought I was working on it. And the note that I get often is that I'm a bit argumentative. I I think the craziest was just the government's need to justify to just hate, especially towards trans people. Yeah, I gotta admit, I am honestly quite shocked by this federal government's outright brazen efforts to discriminate against trans people. Like it really has. I was never pro Trump, but I didn't think they would go quite this far. Like they really have gone further than I expected, at least faster than I expected. Um, I thought it would take more steps. I thought it would take more hateful presidents in a row. That's what I'll say. Um, but what I'm talking about is apparently there is a component of ADHD, which I am diagnosed. I've known that. I've been diagnosed ADHD for a long time. Um, there is a part of ADHD or otherwise a condition that overlaps with it or is paired with it or is commonly associated with it, known as rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Um, it's basically anytime you get bad news you have a sudden, extremely strong emotional response. Some even describe it as pain. Um, and some describe it as like emotional pain. And it's perceived by like a perceived criticism, rejection, or failure. It's commonly associated with ADHD and autism. Yes, you suffer that. Detrimental in relationships. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Also detrimental in my relationships and work history. I'm realizing. I have a habit that when somebody wrongs me, I will slam the door shut in the most dramatic way. And if you watch the stream for any length of time, you may see me do that. And I don't like that I do that. And I want to stop doing that. And one of the things that I've discovered and I've been noticing in my patterns is that I'm a bit sensitive to like criticism. And I got myself into a project, a very large project. And I realized I was having like frustrated, like like little outbursts, basically like tics. And it's like emotional, like pain that needs to get out of my body. And I have these little like, rah, like little like almost Tourette's like rah, outbursts. That is not that bad. I thought it might be more angry. What's not that bad? I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, I would be like, I will crash out if somebody like won't hear me or listen to me trying to like vent myself. Um, and I certainly will crash out if somebody's being transphobic. I don't if anybody's watched the stream and watched me. There are clips of me crashing. I've clipped myself crashing out. It's not uncommon, and that's not good. And like I crash out kind of easily. It's kind of if you trigger my rejection sensitivity dysphoria. The dysphoria element of it means that I basically get hit in the chest with a sledgehammer of like emotions. And that is very real. And I need to acknowledge that this is a neurological condition and that I feel emotions before I have a chance to think. Um, and sometimes that can sort of overwhelm the senses and you sort of react to that emotional state instead of the original thing you were actually reacting to. And for me, it's unfortunate because, like, the way, your apologies? What do you mean, your apologies? You better be sorry, Franticus. You better be sorry you weren't in here and had claimed first in chat and took so long to say hello. That's what you better be upset about. I mean, unless, of course, you were busy or living life or had other more important things to do, then, of course, I'm understanding. But other than that, Franticus, I hope that you get in here as soon as possible. I'm kidding. I'm just glad you're here. What's up? Good to see you. Um, yeah, and it's like I'm learning that like I didn't realize I had life in hard mode. Like I knew I was ADHD, and I was like, cool. I can navigate the emotional, not even emotional, the motivational negotiation, the daily hostage negotiations that come with ADHD. I have learned I am a master of those. But once you start throwing in the rejection sensitivity dysphoria that can cause you to kind of spin out and like lose a day, it derails me. And so like I came up with like extremely rigid systems, and for the past 4 years I've been streaming on Twitch on a very, very fly by the seat of my pants kind of schedule where I go from one task to another. Every minute of my day is practically jam packed with either streaming, a day job, which I no longer have but now need because I'm not making as much money from streaming as I once was. Sad but true. And, I just coped. I I white knuckled it my way through. And a lot of like self medication with like cannabis, which I've learned like helps limit the impulse, helps lower the impulse, but then it mutes all impulses. And then I'm not showing up for y'all in my best and brightest way. I can't connect with you as much if I've muted all my senses. And the only ones I really want to mute are those emotional impulses that are just not proportional to the stimulus that causes them. And I'm gonna look into medication. I've learned that there is blood pressure medication. Now hear me. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Talk to your doctor. Figure out your own shit. I'm have zero background in medicine. But I found out there's like a blood pressure medication that might help with this impulse being too strong. And it's not an SSRI, which I've tried, and I hate those. That's a mood stabilizer. I don't have problems with my mood. I have problems responding to that freaking megaphone that goes off and tells me that something is like life ending and detrimental, even though it's like small. And or like somebody didn't text me back and I just spiral about it for way too long, way longer than you should, way longer than normal people do. Not to say that I'm not normal, but that behavior isn't, and it's being caused by like a neurological disability that I'm not gonna be able to like day plan my way out of. And that's just that's real talk. That's just facts. And so it's not an SSRI. It's not a stimulant. I'm gonna look into this medicine. I have to wait for like a month to get the appointment to where I might be able to talk about it. But I'm gonna be talking about this. I don't know how much of my public facing persona, the energy, the jokes, the sharpness. I like to be very blunt. Um, I'm like I'm fine. Like I don't. Nobody ever has to ask me if I'm fine. I don't tell people my birthday. I don't like people to know very much personally about me. Because if they reject it, it fucking hurts. And I'm thinking it might have just a lot of it's been like a very long term running RSD management strategy. And it's very like, it's kind of scary to kind of name that out loud. But again, real talk, just kind of working through my thoughts and my feelings. And y'all are the sounding board I do that with. What's up, OG Panda Turtle? I've been doing really, really well, except I still need to find a job. Um, I'm at the point of my job search where I keep finding, I'm like, oh, this looks like a good job. And then I go and I check my records and I'm like, ah, shit, I've already applied for this. So that's not cool. But other than that, um, thank God for streaming. Thank God streaming's here at least. Um, Streaming's keeping me alive. Thank you, chat. Um, but like, does anybody else relate to this? I mean, I know, I want to put the spotlight on you, crazy dad. I know you said you suffer from this, and it's made your relationships hard. Um, do you have your own moments where you're like, oh, that's just the RSD. Like my brain is lying to me. Like, do you have those moments? Because I have those moments. And now that I have like words for it and like language for it, I feel like my brain chemistry is kind of changing. Like I'm kind of like realizing that I need to recalibrate, and I don't know how much of that I can actually do. Some of it might actually be out of my hands. And yeah, I definitely want to talk to someone if there's a possibility that I'm doing life on hard mode and that just taking a medication, like I already trans my gender to try to make my life easier for myself and my dysphoria. If this is another kind of, if this is another way to manage like, because I think that might be the last of dysphoria that I really have left. Because honestly, and I know it's not the case for everyone, but I feel like transitioning it eliminated the things that caused my gender dysphoria. I no longer have gender dysphoria. Like somebody can misgender me, and I like laugh at them. I'm like, ha! I'm a woman, so you're dumb. But this is just kind of like where I've been at the last 2 or 3 days. I've been kind of just like processing and just kind of stewing in it. I guess stewing in it's the wrong word because that sounds really extremely negative, but I've gotten them a lot. But I try now to pinpoint it and figure out how to work. It's been a struggle, but I'm glad to hear you're looking into getting help. I hope to one day be brave enough to seek that sort of help. Sure. And honestly, like use me as the experiment, like look at what I'm doing. Like I've already like I have timers and reminders and notes and I journal every morning just to help refresh my memory of the things that I have ongoing and I'm working on. Like I have techniques that I use and I've used apps to train my focus, gaming to learn patience and to stick with something and follow it through. Gaming has done wonders for my RSD. It helps you learn that rejection. Like when games reject you, you're like, hold on, this isn't a real person. And you feel feelings, but it's different. And then you learn different feedback loops. Um, how to experiment with those feedback loops is much more possible when you're doing it with characters from a video game other than like real people that really trigger the dysphoria. And I've done a lot of sales, which I'm sure counts as some kind of accidental exposure therapy. And going to raves and doing adult rave things, rave uh, vitamins, rave vitamins, and you know, that was definitely a kind of exposure therapy. They use rave vitamins for like trauma to treat and help people with like PTSD. So I imagine dosing myself on rave vitamins and then going out into massive crowds of hundreds of thousands of people dressed in the tiniest of outfits with some type of intense exposure therapy for rejection dysphoria. 100% believe that. There's no way that's not true. I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to claim that as a fact. Uh, tell me if it sounds like I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure it sounds like I'm right. I've had jobs where I just literally went out and like canvassed. I would like set up a table and pitch college students, and I've waited tables. I've sold cars. I've done things to develop. I don't know if it's a mask to operate in human society or if those are skills. At this point, I'm unsure. All I know is I've done a lot of things that somebody with this condition largely shouldn't have been able to do. And I'm realizing now why when somebody gives me crap on like role play, like art, not RPGs, but on like MMOs, not even MMOs, but like online gaming, like team-based gaming. Like if somebody starts really like talking crap, like like my heart starts racing. Like there's nothing I can do. Like I'm never gonna look composed. It's almost impossible for me because the second somebody starts leaning into me, my heart starts racing, my mind starts racing. There's almost like my pulse starts going, like I'm sweating. There's like nothing I can do. Um, and that sucks because I want to be able to like stay calm to respond. And I've had moments like I have one clip on Instagram where a transphobe's trying to lean into me, and I'm like, wait, the reason why you suck is because I transed my gender, and like I'm really kind of like, but honestly, I think I'm really mostly kind of checked out and a little dissociating. I don't even know if I was really like in that clip. Um, yeah, but I'm interested. So this medication, there's two of them, and they're complete different chemical profiles, but one of them's way stronger than the other one. And the first one, which isn't that strong that I want to try, um, doesn't have a lot of like sedative type properties. So like it shouldn't affect my energy levels or like capabilities like at all. Hopefully, knock on wood, if it works. And the other one's a little more potent, has a little bit more sedative potential, but neither one of them are an SSRI. Neither one of them are a stimulant like Ritalin or um, that other one, Adderall. Um, so I'm interested to try them. The only danger being like if you stop taking it, you're supposed to like wean yourself off of it because it's like a blood pressure medication. It makes your blood pressure go down. And if you just stop taking it, your blood pressure shoots right back up. And they just so happen to find that it does something with the stimulus that we feel like that emotional that those pings um and I think like 30% of people that take it are reported to see improvement. And if that one doesn't work, then 30% of people see improvement from the other one. Because again, completely different chemical profile. And that totals for basically like a 55% chance at some type of medicine being available to help make this better. If not life changing. Lots of people have said it's life changing. So I'm going to pursue this. It's going to take me a bit to get the appointment, get the medicine. People do report a pretty fast after taking the medicine, like seeing the results. So we'll see. We'll know. We'll know soon. You know, I'm going to tell y'all. I'll definitely be talking about it. Um, yeah. I just, I didn't realize how much trouble I had regulating. Like I thought I was just being like entertaining, and I had like tics and spasms, and I'm like, wow, like I'm ADHD, and I didn't realize it looked like really bad like outbursts, and like I'm really starting to kind of like do some self analysis and like look back on like past events and even like when I got arrested, like I had to like take a bunch of audio out because like I crashed out on the cops, which they kind of deserved, but like it wasn't very professional, and I probably could have gotten a lot better footage and stuff if I hadn't have just like whole ass crashed out on them. If it would have been just like a little less, a little more metered of a roast, a little more pressure than just a full on crash out. But I'm realizing I am neurologically sabotaged. So like the crash out was gonna happen. But like if I take the medicine, then I might not crash out. The the volume gets like turned down, if you get what I'm saying, on that panic, that fear that you feel. I don't know if other people's feels the same, but that's what mine feels like. It's like instantly your whole body's just filled with like fight or flight. It's like the same fears like when you think someone's behind you, like in a dark room or something. Just like whole like body seizing fear. And for me, sometimes like after the fact, like something's happened, it keeps I can't let it go. Like it keeps revving. I keep getting revved up. I can't let it go, and I just keep having like little angry like, rah! Like I'm just like mad about something, or like my response to something, and it happens enough that I'm not able to engage in the arenas that I'm drawn to is the sad part. So I kind of have to do something. Um, the stuff that I'm doing, the stakes is high. There are actually a lot of people counting on me, and I don't mind that, but I don't want to let them down. So time to get the crash out meds. I guess I don't know. Freaking blood pressure medicine. It's a blood pressure medicine. It's a blood pressure medicine. That's the craziest thing to me. Because when I read it, I was like, that's not right. That can't be right. That's got to be wrong. It's a blood pressure medicine. That was heavy. Thanks for hearing me out. Wow, we covered a shit ton of news. That was so much news. And RSD. I can't talk about the project. I'm on that NDA, so we're gonna keep that under wraps. I'll share what I can when I can. But unfortunately the project is part of what brought this new topic to my attention. So it was difficult to engage. And that's frustrating. And I just I look forward to life on easy mode. I hope it works. I hope I can get the medication, and I hope it works, and I hope it doesn't change too much. If it changes too much, I could definitely see me stop taking it. Is it hot today or what? Let's see what's going on here. Oh yeah, it's a little warm. I'm not even in the hottest part of the year yet. I can't believe y'all did the cosplay photo shoot challenge. Do you have an idea of some of the Maybe I'll just start setting that up now. That way I don't have to think about it. And it's just done. And y'all can start um, getting that going. I really do hope it helps. My fear has always been losing myself. But from what I understand, you don't lose yourself. You just focus yourself. Yeah, and that's what I'm looking for. Um, I'm not willing to lose myself. Like, let me be really clear that that's exactly what prevents me from wanting to look into medication. Like that, like I tried SSRIs and I felt like I lost myself to a haze. So I refuse to do anything that's gonna alter me from being me too much. So SSRIs are off the table for me. But if it's like this, like I keep reiterating, it's a blood pressure medication. I don't think it's altering, you know, the behavior of people very much if it's a blood pressure medication. So I'm gonna check it out, and hopefully I have something to be like, hey, y'all should really look into this. I had a couple of posts on Threads go pretty well. Got some pretty good reach, specifically about this topic. So hopefully I can just keep talking about it, bring more awareness to it, and maybe help some people because I didn't realize how much it was affecting me in my behavior, in my relationships, and it's starting to affect my professional career. And at that moment, I need to do something. So, um, yeah, it's really hard to navigate, and I thought everybody had to deal with these impulses and feelings. I didn't realize I was doing life on hard mode. So I'd like to turn the difficulty setting down, please. Thank you. Um, let's get this. The cosplay photo shoot challenge. Where are we gonna put this thing? I'm thinking right below general. Um, how did I word this? Let me recheck this out. I want to make sure I get this exactly as I have. Community challenge. How do I view this? Oh, okay. Let me just go to redemption. Redemption. Here we go. Got it. But I want the description that I wrote. I typed out a whole thing of what I was going to do. How do I get to that now? Darn. I don't think I can. I should have copied and pasted that. What did I do? What did I do? Um, okay. I literally cannot read the description now. Oh, that's so crazy. Now that you guys have already finished it, I can't get into view the description that I had typed out. Okay, I remember. All I said was I was gonna have. Okay, let's pick a time. Let's see. It's May. It's May 18th. If it's May 18th and we give um oh my god, American Airlines is having a limited time sale on jet tickets to Japan. Chat. So like I shouldn't take a trip because I don't have a job. But if I get a job, I probably won't be able to take a trip. Should I just take a trip on my credit card before I have a job? That sounds like a terrible decision. How much? They can't be that cheap, right? This is ADHD in action. I got on here to do something else. Um, I don't even remember what it was. How much are these tickets? $1,000. $1,000 for like a month, but then I have to stay for a month. I really only want to do like 2 weeks. Okay, this is exciting. Okay, some of these are like 2 weeks. Chat. Should I go stay in Japan for a week and just go ahead and pop my passport cherry? What if I what do I need to stream from Japan? Buy a prepaid data only eSIM is what people recommend, or a pocket Wi-Fi. You can rent a router and pick it up at the airport and then just stream with my phone through the router. How do other streamers do it? Should I get like I feel like I should get like one of those chest straps so that it just like sits. Cause like I have like a selfie stick. I don't know if y'all see any of the in real life protest streams that I do when I'm on the ground on TikTok. I use a selfie stick for that. And I've gotten pretty good at IRL streams. Um I really am kind of just waiting on the job market for more places to start hiring and things. Maybe I just need to take a June trip to Japan, chat. I might do that. What was I talking about before the tickets derailed me? I was doing something else. Um. Oh yeah, the cosplay photo shoot challenge. Okay, so we're going to duplicate general. We're gonna call it the cosplay photo shoot challenge. How do you spell challenge? I always spell challenge wrong. That's the one word my entire life that has haunted me is challenge. Challenge. E-N-G, right? Yeah, E-N-G. CHALLENG. Okay, cosplay photo shoot challenge. And then some kind of emoji of costume. You know, like superhero. That'll be good. Super. Boop. Okay. So, edit channel. Congratulations. This is where the community will decide on the community cosplay photo shoot. I will, caps lock, will be planning where you will be planning for me with democracy. Yay, democracy! We all love democracy. Um, there we go. Hide 1 week after inactivity, by the way. So we're gonna save those changes. And the beginning starts now. Everyone, the community cosplay challenge has been completed. 100,000 social credits. That's crazy, y'all. That's honestly crazy. Credits. Start listing suggestions in, what do we say, like a week? In 1 week, the suggestions with the most reacts will become a poll. There's too many. There are more than spaces. React will decide to be voted on. I kind of explained that twice, but hopefully y'all get the gist of it. So there's now a new Discord channel. The cosplay challenge has been completed. So you are now welcome. Let me explain this. Whatever's voted on, Spider Gwen. Okay, there, we got it. So whatever has been submitted is eligible. Like, I don't get to override it. Like, let me be clear. I don't get to override this. This is going to be a test in true democracy. So whatever the choices are, I'm going to take the top ones suggested. If there's too many to fit in a poll, whichever ones have the top reacts are going to become the poll. And then whatever wins the poll, I'm going to do like a legitimate cosplay of it. And if you've seen any of my actual like cosplay, like my Harley that was pinned, it is still pinned on my Instagram. That thing's got like 1,000 likes or so. I don't know. It's like a legit. Like, I dyed my hair. I actually took the pics at Comic-Con, which is the funny thing. I did the cosplay at Comic-Con and it was a hit. So that being said, Comic-Con is in December, and whatever gets picked, that's what wins. One of the cosplays that I almost pulled the trigger on and almost bought was Emma Frost. I thought Emma Frost would be a really good cosplay that I have not seen a lot of cosplayers in LA do a ton of Emma Frost. But again, I just saw it pop up in Discord. Again, it is true democracy. This is absolute democracy. So whatever gets voted on, that is what I'm going to cosplay. So get as many of the things that you think you'd want to see me cosplay in. I think a funny one that someone had recommended one time that I think would be funny to do, but it honestly is a really simple cosplay. It'd be hard to, like, I would have to design a set or something for people to really understand who it is. But Luann from King of the Hill is on the list of characters I want to cosplay but just never have. She was like a communist in one episode, which is the main reason. There's an episode where, I should do a cosplay where I'm hammering the sign that says like communists or whatever. Communist for Texas. Or whatever the fuck her sign said. Whew. Yeah, this was a fat news day. Like, what a fat news day today. I still can't get over that. Just how nuts the news day has been. But we got through it. We survived it. You know. Um, I need to go to Japan, chat. I'm gonna look up what is like the I think one of the better months to go to Japan is June. I don't think July is good. I wonder if I can pull it off. July. I'm excited. I'm excited. I really want to travel. I need to find a job though. Like I really need to make sure I have more income before I start having expenditures of that size. Uh yeah. I think about everything in asset allocation now. I'm forever cursed to be a saver. I grew up so legitimately poor and didn't understand anything about savings, investments, 401ks, and mutual funds, and IRAs, Roth IRAs, and all that. All that was super foreign to me growing up. I didn't have anybody to tell me anything about any of that. All of that was painstakingly learned through years just working my ass off. And then my mom passed, and I kind of had to liquidate a bunch of stuff. But, streaming made it possible where I could even pay for a funeral. So I'm eternally grateful for y'all. And I'll never be able to say thank you enough. Because of streaming, I was able to be there for my family and what was one of the hardest parts of our entire lives and like really step up. So even though I don't make as much from streaming as I did, it was there when I needed it. And I have faith that now that we've done the rebrand and we're building back stronger and with more intention, that it's going to be bigger than it ever was before. Because before, I was kind of built on gimmicks. Gimmicks and sex appeal was basically, that was the brand. And, I mean, you do what you can to get affiliate. And I thought I was doing what I had to do to get views and try to work my way up to like partner or like some kind of streaming career. And no, I never really built a community on that. And I have seen streamers build communities on that, but their conversations with their communities, it's like their community almost actually is just like they just objectify them, and they'll have like a mod or two that's like real, but then like the entire community is just like toxic and gross. And like I don't think I can even handle that. Like that wouldn't even be good. Um, and now I'm learning like now I definitely know that I wouldn't have been able to handle that, and why. And it's funny that it took me so long to kind of come to terms with. It's funny that it has kind of like bled out into my life, like the RSD stuff. Like it's been like right under the surface. It's been right there like the whole time. Like I was like, why are things so hard for me? Like it seemed like I had a harder time. I didn't understand exactly. And now I think I've pinpointed it as a big part of the reason. And looking at how I meticulously structured my life uh, for good different spans. Like my goal is to like go into like full R&D mode and structure out like a scaffold of a full like structure and schedule and stuff. Like I'm really good at setting up systems because I'm so reliant on systems. They help me maintain, and I don't have trouble regulating when I'm in an established system. I don't have trouble regulating when there's not outrageous stimuli. And I guess my ADHD's resulted in a lot of things regulating. I guess that's a big part of my ADHD. I guess I'm just now accepting. I'm just now coming to accept. It'd be cool to be able to regulate better. That'd be sick. I'm sure a lot of it's just like my emotions I get so much. You just got to get out, get emotional, and a lot of that looks like if not like angry outburst, it's not even necessarily like angry, just like emotionally charged. And it's like I almost always look like the bad guy just because of like how emotionally charged I am. And that's rough. That's rough to like never be to basically never be able to advocate for yourself because you can't hit the right tone. You can't hit the right energy. Just the needle goes to 11, and like that's it. That's all you got. It's like one gear, fucking survival mode. That's it. It's like I thought it was useful. I mean, it has been useful. It's been useful in a lot of contexts. However, I would like to do some really advanced and complicated shit. And having one gear isn't enough to tackle the advanced courses that I want to run. So, that's where it is. It's like it's not like I don't even really have one gear. I definitely have more than one gear. It's not like I'm emotionally like limited. It's just that when you get hit with that panic, that like fight or flight feeling, it's just like really hard to talk to somebody normal. Like they're asking me why I did this, and it's something that the way they've asked it either makes me realize I made a mistake or that they're unhappy. And I immediately get hit with panic. Like they just threaten my life. And then I'm supposed to talk to them normal? And I've always realized I had it. And I knew it wasn't accurate. But still, it's really hard to like then talk normally. It's difficult to dissociate from the moment. For me, unfortunately, it's the opposite. It's entirely too easy to dissociate from the moment. And I have a moment where I stall. And people usually look at that as I've stalled with the information or that I've stalled from thinking my thought process or my pattern. And really, I'm just trying to recalibrate from an intense emotional impulse and regulate and move forward and move through it. And it's like the most frustrating thing for me, and the thing I haven't really mentioned yet, is, and the thing that I'm really hung up on, is that I just thought everyone had to deal with the same thing. I thought everyone was dealing with these crazy, super intense emotions, and that maybe I just wasn't responding to them that well, or that I was overreacting to the stimulus. I didn't realize my stimulus was just that much stronger. That shit sucks. Like, that's not fair. Like, I want to try life without that. Without this wrench in my engine. If I can unsabotage myself, I'm gonna try. Go ahead, slap me with the blood pressure meds. I'm willing to give it a shot, and I'll report back. I'll let you know, and then maybe after I take them, I will go to Japan to celebrate. I guess I mean more like distance from feeling wrong. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. It's difficult to dissociate from the moment. Yeah. It's difficult to separate yourself. And one of the things that I can explain very clearly is that, and I found the way that I describe it is that I have like emotional echoes. And I don't know if you identify with that, but like I'll have like something that I do or something that I say that I know that I either did wrong or that I missed an opportunity or that I messed up. And I'll have like almost like Tourette's like outbursts where I'm just like, God, like I'm like frustrated. Like, why did I do that? And I'll do that for days. Like days. Like little emotional echoes for hours for sure. Sometimes hours not stop. And then days later, they'll just resurface. It's almost like a grief, but it's that like that emotional like dysphoria just like hits me. And I'll just be like trying to like negotiate with myself or like justify my response or my actions. And I'm talking like days later, like a week later. Oh, you did that. This is why you did that. And now I'm like, why am I doing that? Like, do you know normal? Or I guess like people who regulate normally don't do this. I will harp on myself for not taking opportunities and moments I've embarrassed myself for years. Exactly. And why? And why is it that intense? It doesn't make any sense. And it's not helpful. And it almost certainly sabotages other events. There's other things that I want to do so it doesn't happen again. That's the thing. It almost kind of guarantees it. Because, like, you are most likely to do something someone is explicitly telling you not to do. Because that's the way the brain works, man. You don't do the thing someone tells you not to. I mean, you don't do the thing someone tells you to do. You do the thing someone tells you not to do. It's like when you're like on a team, like in a team, like in a setting, like let's say you're playing like football. I don't know why I'm guessing that analogy. I'm a footballer. Look at me. I'm gonna tackle it. I'll get cracked in half. Let's pretend you're playing paintball. Paintball is probably a better analogy anyway. Like, you're not gonna say whatever you do, don't pop out, don't peek. Because the first thing someone's gonna do is peek and get hit. And now they're out. What you say is hold. You give them the instruction that they need. You don't say what not to do. You know? It's like when someone tells you careful, it's hot, and you still grab it and realize, oh God, it's hot. Exactly. So why does our brains do this? This is literally our brains going, don't grab the handle, it's hot. The handle. Don't handle the hot. um, literally, our brains go, "Don't grab the hand. Watch out, this is hot." Whenever the waiter puts the plate on the table and goes, "This is really hot," you have to touch it. You have to touch it. You touch it every time. You have to. Um, we don't know their tolerance for heat. Exactly. It's like I almost wanted to. This is my chance to calibrate what I think is hot versus what you think is hot. Don't rob me of this opportunity. ADHD brains, man. Ugh, we definitely work different. And I have trouble regulating. And I have RSD. And I get hit in the chest with a sledgehammer anytime someone tells me we need to talk. There's no scarier sentence. Like, I literally get hit with, like, I'm getting murdered panic. It's like flipping a tortilla on a flame. It's not that hot exactly. Like, get out of here with your gringa hands. Just flip that thing. Take 2 seconds. If it really hurts, you can lick your finger. Or, yeah, that's probably the best analogy. The tortilla on the flat top. There's not a lot else you can really flip on a grill with your hands. You gotta have a spatula. Fun story, really fun story. I'm gonna go back, and nobody's gonna have any idea what I'm talking about here. This is a story from when I was in middle school. There was a lunch lady. I was in school in Georgia. Don't ask me how I ended up there. But I went to elementary and middle school and high school in Georgia. And there was a lunchroom lady that had a very particular pronunciation of the word spatula. She would call it a spatular. And there was a group of boys that I sat with at the time. I was presenting as a boy. I thought I was a boy. And I would sit with them, and they always teased me. I was always on the outside. I was never like in. But there was like a group of kids that were like in. I was really poor, and that was a big part of the reason. But one of the kids' dads owned a t-shirt making company. And one day, this friend group came in, and they were wearing shirts that said, use the spatula, because that's what she would say. Like, all the lunch line had all the different foods, and there was the spatula, and kids would grab the pizza, and she's like, don't grab the pizza, use the spatula. And so this group made these shirts that said, use the spatula. And it was a hit. Everyone was buying the shirts. And then the principal banned the shirts. And the lunchroom lady was like, what do you mean? I love it. And so the shirts came back. And then there was like a fundraiser around the shirts. I don't know. But I digress. Sometimes you need to use the spatula. I don't know where that story was going. I don't know why. Middle school. I'm going to go ahead and rate out. This has been a great, very heavy news day, very personal stream. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Good side story. This was middle school. High school was honestly less interesting. My high school was extremely bland. The only extremely entertaining thing I can tell you is that we, by throwing on a musical in the gym, the year that I was in Grease, the high school musical, we raised enough money that the next year, the next couple of years, the high school actually built an auditorium, like built a legitimate like theater. May the spatula be with you always. Exactly. May the spatula be with you. My bad. No, not your bad. It's my life. Yeah, how are you supposed to know it was in middle school? Um, yeah, fun fact. The drama teacher that directed that Grease then years later came out to Hollywood and was on a trip. And we were talking. He said he was coming out. He's like, if any of my students are in LA or Hollywood, let me know. I was like, I am, and I'm performing. I have an improv show. If you want to come stop by and see me perform improv. And he goes to me. Shout out, Mr. Grant. I stole your Toblerone, by the way. That was me. Um, yeah, totally ghosted. Had plans. I reserved him tickets. Made sure the tickets were at the box office. We were putting on a show. It wasn't the main stage. We were in the back. It was the back theater. But we were right off Hollywood Boulevard. And he blew me off. My drama teacher. One of the most influential people, and one of the main reasons why I actually came out to LA, even though I honestly didn't want to. Rejections for it was like, you're never gonna make it, don't do it. And I remember him being nice. And then I ended up I was an actor in high school because I was working at Six Flags over Georgia as like a professional improviser for this VR show. And this was way before VR was a thing. That is a crazy amount of Jamie lore. We have covered a crazy amount of Jamie lore on this stream. Legitimately, one of my very first jobs was pretending to be a character in a video game in front of a green screen that was projected into a VR virtual reality headset at Six Flags over Georgia. And it was like this big outdoor seating arrangement. You would see 50 chairs in a row, rows of seats with headsets. And I was really good at it. I was really good at entertaining people. And somebody was stealing money from the game's cash register. They shut us down mid-season. I didn't get to work it the next year. Really sad. It was actually really it was the best first job. Absolutely the best first job. Getting to be a video game. It's pretty sick. We're going to go ahead and raid out. We're going to raid to, let's see, who are we going to raid to? Ooh, let's hit Pearl Tees. They just started. That'll be fun. Oh, and this will be a really fun switch up. 18 plus. Here we go. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. 4 p.m. We're going to do a gaming stream tomorrow. It is review day. I've got 23. I'm going to have more. Actually, I have some codes sitting in my inbox I need to redeem. We're going to launch a new game that I've never played before, and I'm going to play it live on stream and review it. That's the new Jam on Tuesdays. I haven't been consistent about doing it, but that is what we're doing on Tuesdays now. I've just been weird dealing with this RSD thing and that big project. And the two mixed together was crazy. But thanks y'all for being here. I'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Don't let the bastards grind you down. See you tomorrow.